In lesson 3, we are looking at cellular processes. These include how cells build up and break down different molecules and how cells capture energy from the sun, particularly photosynthetic cells as in plants and blue-green algae. So let's dive right in. Our first topic is the dehydration synthesis, hydrolysis, and carbohydrates in 3.1. Don't let the words scare you. They're not that bad. We're going to break them down and talk about what do they mean. So first off, dehydration synthesis. Literally dehydration, or dehydrated, you don't have water. Synthesis, we're building things together. So in dehydration synthesis, we're taking out a water molecule in order to build something bigger. That's all that big word means. Remove a water to make something bigger. Its opposite process, hydrolysis, is a little fancier of a word, but hydro refers to water. Lysis means to split. So in hydrolysis, we add water to a complex molecule to break it into two smaller ones. We'll look at some examples of those in a moment. Carbohydrates, again, these are simple carbs where we store energy. Simple carbs store energy for short term. Larger carbs store energy for long term. The simplest carbohydrate is called glucose. It's this plain sugar molecule. Larger carbs can be things like maltose, which are two glucose together, or even larger, the word's escaping me, but they can make very large sugar chains for long-term storage. We'll look at these in a few moments. Dehydration synthesis, to look at it, all it means is you see that each of those little hexagons is a single carbohydrate molecule. And see how it hydrates the blue H and the OH? The H is hydrogen, O is oxygen, H2O is water. So when it takes the this H and this OH, and when it splits them, it kicks out a water molecule here, and then just joins the two molecules together across this oxygen bond. All right, the next one we look at is the opposite. This is hydrolysis. This is what happens in digestion. Let me move me out of the way. In digestion, on the other hand, we have complex molecules like this complex sugar. This time we're just going to add this water molecule to these two oxygen bonds. And what happens in the course of the reaction is that water molecule split and bonded to the different sugar molecules to create two separate sugars. So remember, hydrolysis, we're adding a water in order to make a more complex, to make two simpler, to split a complex molecule into two smaller ones. All right, let's turn that off. Okay, so let's keep moving forward. So these are them in review. And just dehydration synthesis, we remove a water, and there's no good place to put me is there in this slide. We remove a water to make a bigger molecule. Synthesis, building together. Hydrolysis, lysis means the split, and that's how we get a complex molecule into a simpler one. This happens in digestion especially. So our body does to break down complex sugars we eat into usable sugars for our system to take in. Okay. Again, hydrolysis happens during digestion. Our body hydrolyzes complex sugars, the simple ones, for energy or to build up other molecules. It also happens when we are low on free glucose in our bloodstream. So we'll break down polysaccharides, which just means many sugars, like glycogen. And these are hydrolyzed to free glucose up for the bloodstream. Glucose is the molecule that our cells use in cellular respiration to drive all the cellular reactions. And it's stored in, remember we said, larger molecules store energy. Polysaccharides, poly means many, saccharides, sugars, many sugars, is where we store these sugars from when we need them. We'll hydrolyze them to release free glucose in the bloodstream, which our body can then use to power its cellular functions. That's really about it for this lesson. They will get simpler now that we know what dehydration synthesis means and what hydrolysis means. All right, so let's look at proteins and lipids in the next couple of videos.